Today we're going to be going through all you need to know about overtaking buses. Remember, buses are going to stop to drop off passengers quite frequently, so you should expect this. Keep well back from the bus so you've got space, manoeuvre around them when they do pull over. Look for the left indicator to tell you they're going to be pulling over. Sometimes the bus stops can be in corners, so looking between the bus and the footpath on the left can help you to see further down the road for oncoming traffic. Let's freeze it here. Look how many people there are getting onto the bus. The bus is going to be there for a few minutes, so we don't just want to sit behind it and wait. We want to make an effort to overtake it. But the problem at the moment is we can't see the road ahead very clearly due to the corner. So what do? Well, we need to be confident to slowly creep forward and edge our way round the bus to see the road ahead better. Lean your head to the right so it's almost touching your driver's window can also help you to see further ahead and round the bus. So remember, just keep slowly creeping out, being ready to stop if any oncoming traffic comes, and once you're round the bus, you're now committed. Any oncoming traffic should now give way to you. Do please remember though, that when buses indicate to pull away, they have priority, and you must give way to them unless it's unsafe to stop. If you're wondering, they have priority as they're public transport, and they often have to stop on busy roads. If they didn't have the special priority, they would find it very difficult to pull away, and then they'd delay the journeys for all their passengers. Notice with the bus ahead, there's no more passengers getting on or off, so we need to anticipate the bus could pull away any moment. However, we still position near the centre line in preparation to overtake, as buses don't just stop to drop off passengers. Sometimes they will stop to have a break. If we just sat behind them, we could be behind them for 5 or 10 minutes until the driver is ready to drive on. Even if you start to cross the centre line and the bus indicates to pull away, if you can still stop smoothly, you should stop and give way to the bus. You can then pull back to your side of the road once the bus has pulled away. It's also useful to know when a bus pulls over to pick up their passengers, they should then apply their handbrake for safety. They would then release their foot brake and select neutral. And then when they want to drive on again, because it's an automatic vehicle, they'd have to press their foot brake and select drive. So why is this useful? Well, before they select drive and they're ready to pull away, you'll notice their brake lights come on. So we've got a bus coming up here. Notice how their brake lights will come on when they select drive and then they'll indicate to the right. If you can be aware of this clue, you can be one step ahead of the game, like I was here. So when I saw their brake lights came on, I decided to stay behind them as I knew they selected drive and they're going to be pulling away any second. Please be aware, however, some bus drivers will just hold the vehicle still by holding the foot brake on the whole time they're stopped. We can now see the bus indicating left to pull over. Notice there's only one pedestrian to be picked up, however there could be more going off. So we can reasonably assume the bus won't be stopped here for too long. Based on this information, sometimes you may choose just to stay behind the bus. For example, if your vision is very poor, like the clip we saw earlier, and it's very difficult to see round the bus. But on this situation, the corner works in our favour, and we can see really far ahead past the bus. So we check our middle and right mirror, make our way around the bus, and check our middle and left mirror and back to our side of the road. Now you may be wondering about this silver car here, as we're on the wrong side of the road and we've caused the silver car to slow down and stop. This is not a problem, however, as when we committed round the bus, the silver car was still behind the give way lines. This means he must give way to any traffic on the main road, including anyone from his left overtaking parked vehicles or buses. If, however, the silver car had proceeded past the give way lines before we had committed round the bus, we must give way to the silver car. A common concern is what do you do if you've committed round the bus and you're next to them and then the bus indicates right and starts moving. In these situations, normally find the bus will stop after moving forwards a few inches to allow you to finish off overtaking. If, however, you feel the bus has not seen you and you're worried he's going to steer into you and hit you, it is acceptable to use your horn to warn the bus that you're next to him. Or you could just stop, let the bus pull ahead of you and then pull back behind the bus.